cut to cloud. Awesome. So Maya, again, I believe you're based in Atlanta, correct?
Yes, I'm here in Atlanta.
Awesome. Fantastic. And I think you were at the Juneteenth event last, almost
Yes,
two
my
weeks ago.
first event. It
How
was
was your
such a great
experience? How was
time.
the experience with that event?
Impactfully overwhelming. I was not expecting to meet so many of my technical peers in this space, as well as connect with a lot of entrepreneurs that I've met around the city. It's in this economy, I think we all work a 9 to 5 and have a passion project. So it was great for me because I felt seen and I was able to relate to people in the job industry who have entrepreneurial efforts or dreams and so forth. So it was a great event.
It's awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for that intro too. Anybody else wants to go off mute, especially newer faces, that if this is your first time joining the Hangout, feel free to come off mute, introduce yourself before we get started with the rest of the agenda.
Hey everyone, my name is Rita Ebalame. This isn't my first time with
Rita is
Fostr,
an
but
OG. Keep going, Rita, but good to see
yeah, yeah, good to see you too. But glad to be back in the fold. So I'm excited to meet everyone. I'm based in Atlanta, and my background is in strategy, business operations, program management as well.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Rita. So Rita was part of the first few FostrMate that actually experienced our first in-person event, November of what, 2024. So almost what, 20 months ago. It was just seven, eight of us that went to an African restaurant in Houston. And now look at us 20 months after, over 950 of us now
Yeah.
across 12 cities. So I still go back to that photo and, it brings back good memories for sure. Thanks for hopping back in, Rita.
Definitely. Thank you.
Anybody else wants to go next?
I'll go.
Oh,
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
oh,
I'll go for after you.
okay. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Aletha Barnes. I'm based in Atlanta. This isn't my first Foster event. I was introduced to Foster during Render ATL last year. So I attended the networking event, and it was actually very impactful. Met some great technologists in the area. And so I've been on the mailing list, been trying to catch what events I could between family schedules and things of that nature. But I'm in the technical program management space, looking to move into leadership. Currently at Paramount, but always open to networking and learning of different opportunities that are here locally. So thank you for the opportunity to speak with you guys, and thank you for putting this on.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Sandra, if you don't mind, can you send over our link to our website? We are foster.com. I know there's some members on here or people on here that have not yet signed up to join Foster. I think this might be a good time to just check us out and feel free to hop on. But Aletha, thank you so much for hopping on here. Who wants to go next, sir?
I'm Johannes Paulus.
Johannes.
I'm originally from Cameroon and really excited. This is my first time joining your Hangout event. Recommended by a friend, Jessica. So I think I've been following through all the WhatsApp messages. Quite exciting. My background is in workforce development. I currently work with the United Nations. Um, but also I'm an EdTech founder supporting young people transition from learning to earning. Focus is on Africa. And I just came back from Lagos 2 days ago. Really nice to be back. But yeah, really excited to be part of this really entrepreneurial community of change makers. Thank you.
Johannes, thank you so much, my friend. I believe you and I had a few back and forth.
Yes,
Few
yes.
months ago, and you told me you're an honorary Nigerian too. So I think you should have included that in your intro too. And all the puff puffs and the suyers that you've eaten over the years. I think that would.
Uh,
I lived in
no, I
Nigeria
wish
too.
I have an Uchenna as my last name. I always vouched to be from Anambra State, even though I don't have a passport yet, but looking forward to that. But yes.
Awesome, awesome, and look forward to hearing more about what you're working on with your app. I've been seeing that too online too, so good stuff. I know you and your team has been hard at work trying to continue to make impact there. So look forward to hearing more about that. Thank you. I see Samsung SMA136U. Go for it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought my name would be there. Okay, so my name's Jolisa Stallworth. Currently a data center technician at Amazon. I'm new into the tech space. My background has been more healthcare operational. Let me see. I went to the Juneteenth event and I was enamored by the room and the vibes, and it was just a great experience. So I'm just happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Elisa. Happy to have you. And I believe you and I, spoke for a few on that day too, if I recall.
Yes,
So good to see you join us. Happy to have you here.
thank you.
Awesome. New faces. Anybody else wants to go next? Okay. All right. Let's kick things off. I know there are a bunch of us that have been here before. This would be our, I would say, seventh hangout. And just to give folks that are newer some perspective, right? We founded Fostr in November of 2024. And Fostr was founded, I guess for me, it was about, how do we break the silo, right? A bunch of, Africans and Black professionals that work across big tech, startup, and community are doing great work, but most of us are siloed. Most of us don't come together. We don't come together to collaborate. We don't come together to co-create. So I said, you know what? It would be great to, break that silo and hopefully bring us together so that we stop working or being isolated and pretty much, come together and become this thriving connected force. And what started as an idea, like I said earlier, has grown into over 950 of us across 12 cities. Atlanta, where I'm based, being one of our biggest city and most noisiest, I should say. Up until 1 o'clock, some folks are still out there and just having fun. So we do a whole bunch of stuff. One of it is Foster Social, where we try to meet in person. We do Foster Hangout. This is done every month. It's a virtual hangout. That way we can connect everyone and make sure at least we're staying connected. We have Foster Work. We have Foster Build. We have programs that help, nourish our members depending on, what's top of mind for you, right? So every last Saturday of the month, we come together and have Foster Hangout. And typically we start with a theme, right? That way it's more grounded in something. And I believe, the theme for this month's Hangout is called what? Funding the next version of you. That's the theme. And frankly, when I came up with the theme, I had that basic idea what I really wanted this to be like, understanding that I think someone said it earlier today that there's just a whole lot going on in the world as we know it to be, right? So I really wanted this conversation to be about resources, to be about relationship, and hopefully decisions that quietly build the chapter we are all preparing for, whatever that may be. So that becomes the theme of today's Hangout. We typically have the Hangout for 90 minutes. And we try to stick to 90 minutes and not go over. Most times people are always like, no, we should come back. It's like, no, I know it's a beautiful Saturday. You guys could be anywhere. You chose to be here with us. So I truly want to say thank you all for hopping on. When we say funding, right, we don't necessarily mean just capital for startup, because that's typically what comes to people's mind. Hey, funding, okay, I have this big idea, I'm looking for capital, right? When we say funding the next version of you, at least in my definition, we mean resources needed to support your next chapter, and whatever that is, right? It could be your career, it could be your business, it could be growths, ideas and version of, anything that relates to what's next for you, right? And that's what we mean by funding the next version of you. Um, from what others, this could mean, launching a business. For others, this could mean having a career pivot, a certification, a personal brand, side business, even taking a sabbatical too could be the next version of you, right? Or your next stream of income. So at least that's pretty much how we're hopefully going to ground this conversation today. Um, so I have, let's see if we have critical mass here. I think so. I think we have maybe 23 of us here. So hopefully we will have more people join us. But the flow of a typical Hangout is, we come in, we do any quick intro. If you have new members, they get to introduce themselves, which we've done. We kind of explain, hey, well, what the rationale behind the theme of the event. And then we go into breakout rooms that we're going to have more intimate conversations. You can get to meet other members, and non-members, as the case may be. And hopefully at the end of those breakout rooms, you're coming out of those breakout rooms, hopefully striking relationships that extends just beyond those breakout rooms. And then we talk about, we do what we call Fostr Bridge, where everyone comes in and says, hey, this is me, this is what I have, or this is what I'm looking for. I will call you ask and offer. For me, that's always my phone part. And then, I provide some quick community updates, and we pretty much end the day as that. Anybody wants to jump in at this point, just what's top of mind for you before I go over the next couple of items that I have here. Anybody feel free to jump in if you have anything top of mind that you wanted to try out there before I move on. And I'll pause. Okay. Why this matters. So going back to the theme of today's event, which is funding the next version of you. For me personally, I believe that ambition alone isn't enough, right? I think the next version of you will require time, money, relationship skills, confidence, visibility, and a stronger network, which hopefully we're trying to build here at Fostr. It would also require better financial discipline and hopefully a very, very clearer plan, as the case may be. Because we rarely stall because the idea is bad. Most of us actually stall because we haven't built the financial, the emotional, or shall I say, relational runway to support that next version of us. So today, hopefully, it's about moving us from inspiration to intention. Right. So at the end of this whole segment, hopefully we can get, I want to grant you all with at least some of my guiding principle, which is, 6 in total. And as we go into those breakout rooms, maybe that can help spark some conversation as you meet your next, who knows, your next investor, your next study buddy, your next friend, or whatever the case may be. So I think for me, number one, in actually, funding the next version of me or anyone, is number one, you define what that next version actually looks like, right? Because literally you cannot fund a vague future, right? Clarity first before capital, and before you can fund that next chapter, you have to define what that is. So am I trying to, what am I trying to build? What opportunity am I preparing for? What do I need to do? And do I have that runway? I think those are some of the critical questions that you would have to ask yourself. So I say number one is define what that next version of you is. And let me stop sharing that where we can all see in full screen, because I just realized that I had this old stuff here. So I'll stop sharing my screen here, and that way you can probably see my face in full screen. Let me stop sharing here, and you all can see my face, right? And I'm no longer sharing. So still good? Awesome. Fantastic. Number two, I would say funding is more than money, as I said earlier. I think the right introduction, in my mind, sometimes it's what more than, a check, right? So money does matter for sure, but I think it's not only the form of funding. I think your next chapter can be funded by, yes, savings, yes, salary. It could be your side income. It could be equity. It could be consulting. It could be grants. It could be the community. It could be skills, referrals, whatever the case may be. So again, number two is funding is not just about money. I think number three is build runway before you actually need it. Because, preparation, like I said, I tell people, hey, preparation, no panic. I think the best time to build runway is way before your transition, right? And I believe that, I'm not sure if Lola is on here with us. Lola, if you are, raise your hand. If not, probably put a plug in that. She kind of works through helping individuals build that runway and kind of come up with a roadmap of, okay, if the next version of me was to be in 9 months from now, what are the things I need to do starting from today to build that runway and help myself in transition. So I think that's very, 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 very key. So how do you build runway? Again, things like, hey, save as much as you can. In some cases, some would say, hey, save 3 to 6 months of expenses. Some would say, hey, reduce unnecessary commitments. Some would say, build a second income stream. Test an idea before quitting a job, right? That's always very, very key because sometimes your first investor is actually that salary, it's actually that paycheck, right? And then the list goes on and on and on. Number four, which is turn your expertise into value, right? I like to say your experience is an asset, right? Package it, apply it, multiply it, right? Most of us here, I love to say all of us here actually carry expertise from either tech, startup, product, design operations, whatever the case may be. The question is, how do we actually create value beyond our current role, right? Again, it could be consulting, it could be coaching, it could be advising, workshops, content, launching a service, whatever the case may be, right? How do you turn that expertise into value? It could also mean mentorship too, right? Mentoring the next generation is also included, or it could be joining a startup. Um, Earlier I saw Jackie on here. Jackie, are you here? Real quick. I think I saw Jackie. She had joined. Okay, yeah, she's on. Jackie, do you mind if I put you on the spot real quick? It's probably a mute. Jackie one, Jackie two, Jackie three. All right, I'll keep moving. Hopefully she can circle back with us. But some of the things we're trying to do, and you probably learn more. Maybe the next month or two is launch different initiative here at Fostr. One of this is called Fostr Catalyst, and the idea is, hey, how do we take this community of amazing individuals, deep talents, and hopefully turn that into value. So more to come on that. The fifth point I'm going to leave you out with is smarter decisions actually create more options, right? Financial clarity is creative freedom. I think it's not just about quitting your job. It's about making decisions that keep you from being trapped by the fear of unpreparedness, right? So again, do you know how much my monthly cost is? Am I building savings intentionally? Do I have plan for investing in myself? Am I using my income to create future options, right? And not just fancy vacations. And what financial habits help actually limit my next my next chapter, right? And I think that's very, very key, right? Some of us have this, crazy habits, expensive habits, right? So hey, if you're trying to fund the next version of you, something has to give, right? Okay, can I go from 3 vacations a week? Can I go to 1 vacation a week, right? Can I, maybe stop the latte at Starbucks every day and maybe just make my own coffee every day? Again, right? The idea is that you're just making those sacrifices now, hopefully to fund the next version of you. And then lastly, community can actually help fund the journey too, right? I always tell people your next chapter should not be built in isolation, right? I think that's why, Fostr exists, so that meaningful relationships can hopefully unlock real outcomes. And I believe that through community, you can find collaborators, you can access mentors, share resources, get referrals, validate ideas, building confidence, move faster with support, discover opportunities, and the list goes on and on and on. So really, those are the 6 points I really wanted to ground today's hopefully breakout session in. Number one is define the next version of you. Again, you cannot fund a big future. Number two is funding is more than money. The right introduction can be worth than a check. Number three is build runway before you need it. Again, preparation, no panic. The best time to build runway is before the transition. Number four is turn your expertise into value. Again, your experience is an asset. Package it, apply it, multiply it. And then number five, smarter decisions create more options. Financial clarity is creative freedom. And then lastly, community can help fund the journey. So Your next chapter should not, and hopefully should not be built in isolation. So I know I said a lot there. I'll pause and see if you'll have any questions, comments, or anyone wants to continue the conversation from there. While Myers says, gets off mute, I'll go ahead and start creating the breakout rooms. And hopefully we can continue the conversation in breakout rooms. Go for it, Maya.
Hey, I was hoping you could elaborate more on runway. Do you mean a roadmap plan? Are you referring to an audience? I'd love to hear more about that.
That's a good question. So when I say runway, for me, think of it this way. If you're trying, let's assume, okay, for instance, if my next version of me is I want to make that transition from 9 to 5 to be an entrepreneur. So I said, hey, that's what gives me joy, right? Then I say to myself, okay, I'm just gonna not just gonna opt today and just quit my job, right? I'm gonna have a plan. I'm gonna say, okay, you know what, in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, right? I want to start building, which is what something I said earlier. So you're testing your idea, and just making sure at least you're trying to find that, product market fit. So if it's T minus 6 months, right? You have an idea that says, okay, by January 1st of 2027, hopefully I can make my transition. Now you start to ask yourself, what are things I need to support that? So number one is, okay, expenses, right? If there's no longer income coming from your 9 to 5, how do I support that? So again, you start to save would be one way of building one way. Number two is you start to reduce unnecessary commitments, right? You can be, on the board of this and your time is spent here and there and there. And it's like, you start weather some things down so that you can have that energy to be able to support the next version of you. Um, in some cases, you start to build alternative revenue stream, right? The best time, like they say, the best time to look for a job is when you have a job, right? The best time to have a side hustle is when you have a job. And I know people would say, "Oh, my work is stressful. Literally when I get back from work, I'm tired. I can't think mentally. Weekends, I want to spend time with my family." I know, but you still have to make those sacrifices. And I talked about, testing an idea before quitting your job, just learning some skills before those opportunities actually appear. So again, how do you prepare yourself and equip yourself with the necessary skills that can help fund your next version? That's what I mean by building a runway before you need it. Awesome. Any other questions, comments? Please feel free to hop on. And I think we have 25. So I'll make the breakout rooms maybe just 3 per room. That way we can make it very, very intimate. So let's see if I can. We have 25. And if I do, say 8 rooms, let's see what we get there. Okay. I think that's good. So we'll do 3 per room. And the idea behind, again, in the breakout rooms, typically the way it goes is, I think we're going to do maybe 15 minutes for the first round. And then, if we have time, we go another 15 minutes for the second round. The idea is, hey, introduce yourself, keep it brief, and just, literally genuinely listen and get to know one another, right? I think in your group, you have some of the, maybe some pointers that can help guide the conversation. Maybe you can share about, one thing you're trying to build. And I'll post it in the chat window too. That way you can all have it. So one thing you're trying to build, change, or prepare for could be one resource you need to move forward, and one offer you can make to someone else in the community. Right. So again, as you go into your breakout rooms, you can share things around, one thing you're trying to build, change, or prepare for, one resource you need to move forward, and one offer you can make to someone in your community. And it could be you answering all 3, it could be you answering just one of those 3, whatever you feel comfortable with. The idea is, how do you turn that conversation into action at the end of the breakout, or at least begin to identify how you action this at the end of those breakout rooms. So I'll open up the rooms, and while you're all on the rooms, we would send those what's it called now, questions again to you all, but please make it as interactive. Typically, when we always come back from breakout rooms, we see people smiling, we see people giggling. I'm like, what just happened in the room? And we tell them to share, and it's always amazing to hear what went on in the room. So look forward to that again. And we would have the breakout rooms now. I'll open up the rooms. We'll keep it open for 15 minutes and we all bring you all back here and we can have a quick debrief. And I believe the room should be opened up now. And I'll see you all at 2:45 Eastern time in 15 minutes. While you all are going into the rooms, I'll go ahead and also share the questions so you all can have that question as some prompts to get you all started. So let's see, let me grab that. Let's start with the first one. Gonna share in the room. Let's see.
I got the pop-up to join room 4. I don't know
Room
where it
4?
went.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me take you to room 4. Breakout rooms. And that is, okay, move to room 4.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me see if I can, maybe I'll move you to another room first because then I'll bring you back to room 4. Let's do that.
Got it. Thanks.
Let's see if I can even see where you are. Okay. So move to room 2 and then I'll bring you back to 4. Let me know if you get that, please. Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. And then move to room 4. And then broadcast message would be this. And Osita and Olaolu and Funke, please let me know if you're having issues joining any room. So I'm going to reassign you all to the different rooms. We're having our breakout session right now. And you should all be assigned to a room now. So let me make sure I do that. Okay. Let me know if you're having any issues and we'll take it from there. Hey, Debbie, thanks for hopping on. We're in our breakout part of this Hangout. So I'll go ahead and assign you to a room. And once you get into the room, feel free to introduce yourself. And we will bring us back at 2:45 Eastern time. So let me assign you to a room.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, Yemi, thanks for joining us. We're currently in our breakout segment. I'll go ahead and assign you to a room. Let's do that. Breakout room. And I'll do room 5. Okay, I just assigned you to room 5, Yemi. Okay, let's see. Who just joined us? Ebenezer. We are currently in our breakout session. So I'll go ahead and assign you to room 6.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, boss. Hey, Victor, thanks for hopping on. We're currently in the breakout room. Let me
Yes,
try.
I was in the breakout room and we were already done.
Yeah,
We were already
we're
done.
one of the early finishers though.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on here? Okay, let's.
Everybody
Okay.
took their turns. Everybody took their turns.
And what stood out for you guys? What did you guys were you able to address? Because I know I pasted three prompts. One was one thing you're trying to build, change, or prepare for, and then I went through one resource you need. Which did you all address all three, or you kind of just did one for this breakout?
I think we did two. So the
Okay.
two we did, yeah, the two we did were the first one was what would you like? So just to paraphrase that question, because they are not on the screen now, is what we have to give to the community. The second one was do we need from the community? So those were
Gotcha.
the two that each person, yeah. But the first one you talked about, I think we skipped that one.
Okay. Which was what thing you're trying to build, change, or prepare for, correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
but
okay,
in a way,
let's
No,
have it. Let's have
actually,
it.
we touched on that. We all touched
yeah,
on what we were like
working
transitioning
on.
into or building on.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I think I noticed Dee and I are both trying to build AI skills and really upskill in that area. And then Victor is currently somebody who has a lot of that skill set in product and AI as well. So that was really nice just to get to know everybody and that sort of thing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Let me make sure folks are wrapping up in 60 seconds, please. Okay, awesome, Debbie. I know you joined in halfway in. How was your breakout?
It was good. It was easy.
It was busy. What
It was
stood out?
easy.
It was
Easy.
easy. What
Yeah.
stood out for you?
I mean, everyone seemed nice and I it was a quick exit. So I joined late, so we're able to exit right after before the awkward silence came into play. So
Ah, and
yeah.
you were in room four, I believe, with
Yes.
Dee
Yes.
and Rita and Victor.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Fantastic. I should be bringing everyone back now, and then we'll do a quick debrief, and then we'll go into the next segment before we go back into one last breakout room. Thanks for hopping on. Okay, Chen, thanks for hopping on. I'm not sure if you're a part of the breakout room or if you're just joining us, Chen.
I'm just joining.
Awesome. Fantastic. Nope,
Yeah.
no worries at all. Yeah. We just wrapped up our first breakout, so folks are beginning to return back to the main room. So let's give
Okay.
it another 4 seconds or so, and we should see more people join us.
Ade, I have to raise my group. We would like to be back together because we didn't finish. We didn't finish. We need more time together. So the four of us need to be back together, please.
Yeah, I told you guys, there's always gonna be something. Okay, let's see. So it's Joy and who else again? Joy,
Me, Ryan, Ada, and Ebenezer.
Ryan, Ada, and who's the last person?
Ebenezer,
Ebenezer. Awesome. Okay.
thank
Our,
you.
ah, okay. Well, I'll still continue with you, Joy. So, what stood out from the initial conversations you guys were having?
Why are you gonna be like that?
I'm sorry, man.
Come back.
I
Joy
think
put
we
you put us on the spot as well. So now you're on the spot too.
No, it was good learning it from where we were all located. Like Dad's in London, I'm in Minnesota, Ryan is in Atlanta, and Ebenezer is in Dallas. And it was cool. So we talked about where we were. But then we got into it. Ebenezer being in software, and it was really cool. Told us what he was working on, and he was open to having chatting with people. And I might not have the right words, but architecture, all of that stuff. He was really open with offering his knowledge. Adele was talking about her current company, but also talking about data center, data localization in Nigeria. And it was like, wait, before we could get to questions, it's like 6 seconds. No, 60 seconds. And so it's cool having the diversity, right, of where we're coming from, what we're working on. But Ryan and I didn't even get to ours. That's how awesome it was. So
That's awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, Joy. Anybody else wants to do a quick debrief as to how your group went? We've heard from Victor and Dee and Rita and Debbie, I believe. We've heard from Joy and Ada and Ryan. They want to go back, and then Ebenezer want to go back into the same room. It's like, hey, okay. Anybody else?
I can come in. We had four, Ola, Ronke, myself, and Soji. I think I got the names right. Um, Florida, New Jersey, Atlanta, and then I'm in Toronto. But it was really interesting that all four of us had one thing in common. We're all building products, right? Yes. Ronke was building an AI for stylists. You know how you can use it, your closet, arrange your different attire and so they're using AI. And then Ola was building this interesting communication app for couples, people that are dating or living. And then Soji was from edtech to real estate. So it was just interesting. But one thing that was really curious and to Ola's point was just how he was able to pivot from different entrepreneurial journeys, from starting a rodeo show to now becoming leveraging AI for communication for couples. So it was just curious how much he's evolved over time, but that was the question that Soji asked. What was the push, to keep him moving in that light? But yeah, it was quite interesting. But yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing, brother. Anybody else wants to share?
Yes. So in my group it was I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. And Jackie and myself. And I think we're all in the think tank stages of our ideas. So nobody's actively working on anything yet. But we did all have a common ground where we want to somehow combat corporate America and just the fact that empathy is not something that is actively being practiced in communities. So we were trying to collaborate after here and try to work together on that.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing, Jaleesa. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I think this might be a perfect segue into Fostr Bridge. And I like to give, typically when I do this, I like to give just a backdrop as to how this even started. So we had an event, many, many months ago. Soji was gracious enough to lend us his Airbnb. We had, what's it called? DJ Dami, came and it was what's it called? Play music. We had a great time that evening. And then towards the evening, I realized that in rooms like this, we have people that can actually help move the needle for others. And we have people that do require or need something, right? So we decided to go around the room and say, hey, ask and offer, like literally. It's like, hey, if you need something, just say it. If you think you can offer help or you know someone that can help, just say it. That particular activity became what we call Fostr Bridge, right? And we've used that almost every Foster Hangout we do. We come on here and it's free for all. So literally you can get off mute and say, hey, this is what I need right now. It could be, hey, I'm looking for a referral. I'm looking for this opportunity. Or it could be, you know what? I don't have an ask, but this is my offer to the community. And it's always fun, just to see people come off mute and tell us what they need. And hopefully we can, as a community, help point them in the right direction. And some would say, hey, this is what I'm offering to the community. So I'll pause and see if anybody wants to kick us off. Just, raise your hand and would go around before we go into our next breakout. Alalu, please go for it.
Hi guys, my name is Ola. I am currently building I built an anonymous communication app for couples called Accordial. You sign up anonymously. We don't have any of your details. You and your spouse communicate with each other there, vent, and the AI helps you do a translation. Because communication is important. And if you also want to appreciate yourself, you can do that on the app. The idea is couples fight. And it's more risky because oftentimes it's how you communicate, which is important. You can try it out. You can, go on the website to have a look, and it's available on iOS. It's called Accordial. So try accordial.com, ACCORDIAL. And on the other side, we have a marketplace for coaches, relationship coaches, and licensed therapists. So AI helps with the translation of your conversation. And if things have really gone bad, you want to have a conversation with a coach on intimacy or financial planning or whatever the scope is. There, it's available. So my ask is, one, we're, in the beta testing phase before we launch. iOS is currently available, the app on iOS. Anyone who wants to anonymously, sign up and give feedback can do that on the app. And we're also looking for relationship coaches and licensed therapists to actually fill the marketplace. They make money, the relationship coaches. So yeah, those are my two asks. Thank you.
That's awesome. Olaolu, just real quick, what's the story behind this app? Just a quick
Yeah,
background story would help.
yeah, awesome. So the story is I'm 7 years married, and I've come to realize that there's so many people dating, married, and co-parenting. They're in a relationship, and oftentimes one major factor I advise my brothers, and I know so many people who advise when they want to get married. Three important things: communication and understanding is key or pivotal to a successful and happy relationship. The main fulcrum there that hinges every other thing is communication. A lack of it makes you not understand your partner. Whatever you say, leads to disrespect. But helping, and for me, I'm like, yeah, AI has gone into a point where it can help with communication, and I think that would help a lot. So there's certain conversations that I type on iMessage to my wife, and it comes out as brash or illogical or whatever thing. And I feel that it happens with so many couples. I see that happen a lot where you say one thing, you have a feeling, you're upset, you're lonely, you say it's fine, but it's not, you just want to hug. And, unfortunately, men, women are different. The way we hear things is entirely different. So, what the app is meant to do is sit in between your conversations, especially when you're angry or you want to share, appreciation of what the person has done. So you put whatever translation, the raw vent you have there, or you're sitting, at home all day, you've not helped me with the dishes, or whatever thing you spent money going to go and watch World Cup. Meanwhile, my birthday, you didn't buy me a present. And if you obviously type that in iMessage, it's going to come wrongly. But the app is meant to help strip that and, send the feeling to the partners, let them hear you, and then you can also respond. It also helps you translate that, so you can have a conversation and have hard conversations and live longer or
Awesome.
stay married. So that's the idea.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Good stuff. Dari, do you want to go next?
Sure. My ask is basically, as you guys know, the world of AI. For me, I'm trying to learn more about agentic AI. So if I can have someone, maybe one or two sessions, how can I build an AI agent? How can I incorporate it into certain applications, whether it's my email or, that kind of thing? That's my ask. I'm trying to learn more how to implement agentic AI. So that's my ask.
That's awesome. Thanks, Dari. Before I go to Ronke, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in the link to give me a second, to the Fostr Bridge. And the reason why I'm putting this here is if I can grab that. Sandra, do you have the link available real quick on top of your head? If not, let me see if I can grab it. And I'm gonna see if I can. Okay, there you go. So in the chat window, I just sent you all the link to the bridge. So what we are talking about here, right? So that we can continue to track and people can, because right now we're what, about 30 of us, and we have what, nine or something more. So if you were to have an ask or an offer, I encourage you to, in addition to letting us know here right now, is in log on to the bridge and trade on there so that when people sign up to the bridge, they can see those asks, they can see the offers, and hopefully they can pick them up. So something to try out for sure. Runke, please go for it.
Hi everyone. Yeah, my name is Ronka, and I work as a software engineer at Toast. So I actually have both an offer and an ask. But yeah, I work at Toast. So if anyone is interested in a role there, feel free to reach out. Happy to chat, look at your resume, and submit a referral. I just joined not this previous Monday, but the Monday before that. So I'm new myself. So far, so good though. Happy to share my experience with anyone. Yeah, and then for my ask, a few months back, I did mention that I was building an AI stylist app, and it's called Eco Edit. If you missed that, the motivation for me building it was I wanted a better way to manage my own wardrobe. Basically, I wear the same 10% of my clothes all the time while the rest of them are just sitting there. And on top of that, I'm definitely not the most fashionable person, so I usually need some help just trying to match pieces that I already own. So I built this app to help people track what they actually wear and save time in the morning by creating outfits out of clothes that they already own. And the Android version is officially live on Google Play Store, and shipping that was definitely a big milestone. And it's just been awesome seeing people actually use it. And now for iOS, it's officially in beta as well. So I'm looking for some early users who are willing to give like brutal, honest feedback. Definitely can take it. And just excited to get that out to the App Store as well. And to just make it worth your while, I definitely want to give people access to the premium features. So you can upload your entire closet, use the AI stylist, as much as you want. And yeah, just have fun jumping into the app. And I'm going to share the link here as well if you want to sign up. And again, if you want the Android version, you can get it at the link. And if you want the iOS version, you can also sign up at the link. So that's it. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, okay. No, great stuff. I was wondering, and the problem you've highlighted is something that I go, the worst thing is I don't want to wear the same thing. Even while attending this hangout, I was like, did I wear this shit last week or last month?
Exactly.
But I do it all the time because I'm always out a lot more than I used to now. I
Yeah,
was like, I don't recall wearing the same shirt at least, back to back to back. I mean, like, let it breathe a little, right?
exactly, exactly.
So no, I can definitely relate with the pain points you're trying to solve. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else have an ask or an offer before we go into our next breakout? Okay. All right. While we wait for anyone else that has an ask or offer, go ahead, Chen. I think you're off mute.
Yes, I just wanted to make a sort of a plug for Olaolu. It says it's looking for a network of therapists and clinical specialists. I'm also working in something in the relationship space, and Bordy AI has been amazing at connecting me with different experts. So you could kind of try it out and see the experts it can connect you with.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Let me go ahead and I'll recreate this room that way, and then I'll assign the four folks that have requested to be assigned. But let me recreate this first, and then I'll go ahead and so you might see me move some folks to the other room. But Ada, please go ahead and then you have your hand raised. Please go for it.
Good evening, everybody. Hope
Good
we're doing
evening.
well today. Okay. What I say, mine is some sort of an ask. In my group, I was speaking about a side company I work with in Nigeria called B Purple, and I was describing that we have a lot of Africans outside Africa who understand the cloud and how the cloud operates. And there is a new regulation by the Nigerian government on data residency within Nigeria. What BPOPO does is speak to employers or decision makers on training their staff and understanding the importance of data residency within Nigeria in key sectors such as health, banking, and some other industries. My ask is possibly connecting to decision makers in different parastatals and just have that conversation on the different offerings the Purple offers, including managed cloud services. So that's my app. I hope I described it right.
Awesome. And as always, Ada, if you want to just throw that in the chat and also add that to the Fostr Bridge, that way we can help hopefully facilitate that. That would be great.
Thank
Okay,
you.
let's go into. You're welcome. Let me open up the room. Again, we're gonna spend this time around. I'll probably make it again same 15 minutes, so we could come back at 3:18 or so, and then we'll go into our last segment and enjoy the rest of our day. So let me open up the rooms, and now what we can do here is we can continue the conversation we were having earlier, which is one thing you're trying to build, change, or prepare for. Number two is one resource you need to move forward. Number three is one offer you can make to someone else in the community. And I'll paste this in the group to begin with. Let me hit enter, and I'll also send it as a broadcast to the room. So I'll see you all at 3:18 Eastern Time. Have fun. I see PE just joined us.
Yeah,
We're
Manuel.
to
Yeah,
awesome. Hey,
let
Emmanuel.
me change my name.
No, it's fine. We're going to our second breakout, so I'll go ahead and assign you to a breakout room right now.
All right.
Hey, August OG, let me know if you're having any issues joining the breakout. Just FYI. Hey, Joan, thanks for joining. We're in our breakout session right now. I'll go ahead and assign you to a room. Let me do that right now. Let's see. Let's do room 6 for you, sir. Okay. Hey D, how
Oh, yeah, I lost connection, so I kind of
what room were you part of?
I was in room 6, please.
Room six. All right, let me put it on there, and I'm probably gonna be closing the rooms now, just FYI. But yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hey Brian, how's it going, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Awesome, awesome. Thanks. I am doing great. Okay, trying to bring everyone back. How was your room, Ronke?
It was good. It was great. It was definitely again a lot of builders and it was helpful for me for sure. People just giving me advice on yeah, like how to improve the marketing, which is kind of what I was most worried about. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, folks will be coming back in six, five, four, and now. Awesome. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. I see Wally smiling. I see Joanne's smiling too. Wally, do you want to share? Go for it, sir.
You know, in a room full of talented people, everyone working towards pretty cool things. Um, Juwan has a great company that basically he has a team of designers design jerseys that are like, themed towards like all the different countries that are on the World Cup and just countries in general. I'll throw it in the chat. Definitely patronize Juwan. Great business you got going on there. We had D in the room. D is specifically trying to get into corporate education. And if she wanted to like hop on and explain more, she definitely can. But she's looking for opportunity in corporate education. So if you guys have any leads for her, definitely please share. Osita is figuring out how he wants to get into entrepreneurship. He hasn't completely decided upon how he wants to do that, but he is a hard worker. He works at ServiceNow, super smart guy. He could also work as a technical consultant if you guys ever need that assistance. He's a great guy for that. But yeah, room full of talented people. There's a couple guys that I'll share.
I'm chuckling now, Wally. It's like you took the time out to truly listen. In your breakout room, and you literally said, "Hey, X is looking for this. Y is looking for this," and you represented your group extremely well. So I just wanted to throw it out there, my friend. And how about
Thank
you?
you.
What are you working on?
Right now, I'm in the process of transitioning from corporate to just straight entrepreneurship. I have a couple clients that I'm working with right now, mainly on the ad buying side of things. My last role was brand partnerships at Instacart, where I essentially was doing ad buying for a bunch of consumer packaged good brands. You know, brands like Gin and Juice, helped out with Mr. Beast Feastables. My role now, I'm working more so with smaller companies, so like HVAC companies. My mom's home health aid business, also a what else? A logistics company, essentially again with the ad buying side of things, and just working on an offer right now that can just be consistent, like have the highest level of retention for my my clients. So I'm in the process of developing these things. I don't really have much of an ask, I guess you could say. But as I continue to develop and like we dial in on what that offer will be, and how we will consistently retain our clients, because we're doing a great job. But all my clients are satisfied right now, but it's just a matter of scaling it, and scaling it looks like refining that offer and looking for more opportunities that match exactly what we're looking for. So no asks right now, and anything I can offer, if you guys need ads advice, anything in regards to advertising, if I'm familiar with the space, I could definitely share. So feel free to reach out, ask.
Thanks, Wally. Thank you so much. We only have 4 minutes left in today's session. Like I told you at the beginning of the session, I told you we're gonna like almost using them, but like, oh, we didn't get enough time in the breakout rooms, but it looks like this time around, we got enough time in the breakout room. Just housekeeping item. Foster Forward is our signature program to continue to grow the community. I'm sure for some of us that are in the WhatsApp group, the idea is, hey, how do we continue to grow, right? And the way we grow is by tapping into what we've already built, where you all can invite mission aligned individuals to continue to join us, and that way we can continue to grow not just in number but also in impact too, right? So feel free to share information about Foster. If you go to the Foster Hub and you go to your profile, you can actually grab your unique URL or referral code. That way we can actually attribute that to you. We have a leaderboard every week. Right now, I think I'm still number one on that leaderboard. I think Jimmy is just two shy of surpassing me. I know there's somebody on here that I failed to mention that person's name. I think he's doing a great job. He hasn't just landed yet. He's trying to get closer to me, but you would have to try really hard, my friend. But no, on a more serious note, please continue to invite mission aligned individuals to join us. That's how we grow. If you haven't followed us on LinkedIn yet or on social media, please do follow us on social media. Do interact with what we do. That way it gets amplified to your network, and that way we can continue to grow. Our next hangout would be end of July. That would be specifically the last Saturday of July. And I believe the last Saturday of July would be July 25th. God willing, we'll see all of you all back here. In the meantime, there's going to be lots of more programming. I know there are events coming up here in Atlanta. We just announced our partnership with Vendor. They've given us a bunch of complimentary tickets. And hopefully in the next few days, we're going to open up an interest form. And, for folks that are in Atlanta, you can join us. For those that are outside of Atlanta too, please feel free, because I know there were people that did express that they want sufficient time to be able to fly down and come see what's happening in Atlanta. So if you're out of Atlanta, consider this an invite for you to come join us here and have fun. And that concludes our hangout today. The last thing we typically do is we take group photos, so that way we can send it to the group and tell others that missed it, this is what I missed. So if you can get off camera, please, let's do a quick photo. And it's good to see beautiful faces. I see Wale, Ryan, I see Yemi, Chibundu, Kofi, my friend. I just remembered that it was you that I saw at the Cafe Momentum. I was like, it took me a while. I go back home, like, I know this face. So my apologies. I was like, I know this face, but it was good to see you, my friend. Osita. Okay, awesome. So I think we have
Sorry,
a
I'm
few.
I'm on mobile and I don't know how to turn on my video.
No, you're good. All right, so I'm gonna take the first one, 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna take the second one. If I go to my page 2, and 1, 2, 3, say cheese. Awesome. I all thank you all for joining. Catch you all on the next one. Cheers. Bye.